Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Breakfast with Bob.
And Pancho Man. Thanks everybody for being here at beautiful Huggo's on the Rocks. We're brought to you by HOKA, One, Polar, Halo, Neuroscience, Velofix. Today's plan, Normatec, Four Seasons Resort, Hualalai, Triathlete Magazine. Our next guest, Mr. Marcus Cook, and you will not believe this. Marcus, we'll have the fat Marcus come onto the set right now. Marcus used to weigh 489 pounds. He's lost 300 pounds. Now weighs a svelte 226 and is racing this Saturday. Give it up for Marcus Cook.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, fat Marcus, you're good. Marcus, you don't get to be 489 pounds overnight. What the hell happened?
I ate so good for so many years.
You were like 5 jelly donuts from 500.
And it was all so good, but I had to do. I'd been successful in business. I just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden I find myself that we landed a great deal at we sold our company.
Right.
And one of my business partners, a mentor, a father figure in some sorts, brought me to his office. He said, "Hey," he said, "I got something I got to tell you." And I said, "What?" And he went, "I have cancer and it's aggressive and I'm going to die. And I'm dying because I have cancer and you're dying from your choice." And it took so much guts for him to tell me that, because here I am, 489 pounds, and it just was always the elephant in the room. Really, I mean, it was just, I was always a big guy, and so he told me that. He said, "You got to promise me that no matter what happens to me, that you try to be there for your family, because they're going to need you, and the employees need you." And it was just like this. A light switch just went off, and I was like, you know what? I'm a high school graduate that sold his company. I mean, American dream all the way through, and and I could be there and talking to someone about business, and they'd be like, "Man, this guy has came up from literally nothing," but I was a failure with my health, and so I just started trying to change, and I literally the crazy thing about it is 3 years ago, I started walking 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And this coming Saturday, I'm towing the line at the World Championship Ironman after completing 2 full Ironmans, 6 half Ironmans, all within a 2.5-year range. I mean, it's like, whenever you're sitting on the bike and you're like, what am I doing? Are you trying to swim for the first time? I can remember all those things in my mind, and you're sitting there, you're going, man, these people that do this, I mean, they're the elites are so crazy at all the things they do, and here I'm just trying to survive. To be here with you is something that I dreamed about 3 years ago. Like, if I do what I'm doing, I want the world to know that you may not be 500 pounds, but you may have 500 pounds of problems. And the way you change is you just start doing something different from what you've been doing. And that's what I did. I just started doing something different. And that 20-minute walk turned into trying to walk a mile. That mile turned to walk to 2 miles. And then I can remember coming to the first telephone pole, and I was like, oh, I gotta run. So I tried running from telephone pole to telephone pole, and I looked up, and it was the first time that I ever ran with my son, and he was 15 years old. And then you start realizing that everything around you, it wasn't about me being 500 pounds. I was affecting so many people.
Yeah.
And whenever you're trapped into an addiction, or you're trapped into anything that that's killing you, you get this mentality that you're really the only one that's hurting. But then you look up, and now my son is training to do his first Ironman. My youngest son's lost 80 pounds and ran a marathon. He was 14 when he did that, and my whole life has changed.
Do you think it's one of those things when it was the whole family, like growing up, were your parents overweight?
Yeah,
was it something, and you're just sort of like, this is the way it is?
I was my dad was a preacher, and I was a musician, and I got, instead of doing a touchdown, I would get the big thrill of a standing ovation when I sang, or
right.
Or playing, or I was so it was just I had my things that I was good at, but then you get old and you don't want to go walking. You start, I could write a book about how to be fat, because I would circle the parking lot, and I I would, know that if I circled the parking lot long enough, there'd be a front row parking spot. I would cut the grass. I would take the elevator every time instead of the stairs. If there was an escalator, I'm on it. If there was an elevator, I'm going to push the button. And so it became a pattern where that first year, I would actually I would park a parking lot over from where I was going and walk. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, you got to change where you're at. You have to start doing something new every day in the area that you want to change. And for me, I picked triathlon.
And it's funny because you think about, people think triathlon, they think Dave Scott, they think Mark Allen, they think the fittest of the fit.
Oh, yeah.
But this sport, really, if you think about it, swimming, you can swim if you're overweight.
Yeah.
Right? Riding a bike, unless you're climbing Mount Everest,
yeah,
you can do that.
Yeah.
It's really the running.
Yeah.
And that comes if you walk a little bit.
Yeah,
so
walk.
you can do a triathlon tomorrow.
Yeah.
A short triathlon tomorrow, no matter what your weight is.
Yeah, and I got involved with My Time to Try. I got involved with trying to bring people into the sport, because you look at Fat Marcus, you're like, that dude is doing Ironmans. I mean, that's beyond, and not even doing this course is amazingly, it's a hard course. And so I've been here a month. I came to Kona a month ago, and I've trained on the course. I'm ready for everything that race day throws at me, and I'm here to prove to the world that you can be a different person than where you're at if you need to change and just become a better person, better human. Everything in my life has changed. I mean, my worldview's changed. I changed my health and my family life got better. I changed my health and my hobbies got better. My friends changed, and it's just, it's a dream come true.
Do you find that when you're overweight, you're hanging out with overweight people?
Oh,
and
yeah.
in that way, you just, let's get a pizza, let's do this, let's do that, rather than you hang out with these people.
Oh yeah, you're trying to, the coolest, there's so many elements of the story that's crazy. I used my story. I raised $100,000 for the Ironman
foundation. That's great.
And I just got back from a service project on the island here with about 30 other athletes, and it's amazing on how to, whenever you get into trying to be a better person and you improve something in your life, that you start seeing other areas you can help and you can pull people in. A great story is Andrew Starkowitz. He took a picture with me at the first Ironman that I went to as a volunteer in bike transition, and that's the year he had the stress fracture.
Right.
He came out of the race, and I was right there when he came out. And here I am, 400 pounds, and I go to him and I go, hey. And I was super proud at 400 because I lost 80 pounds, right? And 89 pounds. And he looks at me, I go, hey, I'm losing weight. I'm going to do a triathlon. And I didn't say Ironman. And he goes, I really think, he put his arm around me and said, I really think you will do it. And I went, yeah. And all of a sudden, he had his wreck, and then all of a sudden I sent him a message on Instagram and said, hey, I'm praying for you. Just know I'm thinking of you. And all of a sudden he responds, and then so we become friends. So my first Ironman, he came back to the finish line that night to watch me finish, and then throughout the last year, he befriended me. I went to training camps with him, and then he's been with me on the island so basically I've been at Camp Starkowitz for the last week, and this guy is planning on winning the race. I'm trying to show the world that anything is possible.
Yeah.
And it's, the crazy, he says this, he said it many times. He says, the spirit of the triathlon family is one that my drive and determination to become someone different is the same drive and determination that elites use to try to win, and we all want to be champions, and I'm going to come out at 16 hours, probably 15:30 if I could pull it off. But the same, he's gonna be half that time, right? And these elites are all gonna be half that time. But
doesn't matter.
But the same spirit that I have to keep at, and every age grouper that's here for legacy and the spots, dude. That same spirit drive, and this is the only sport that you can see that truly happen, and it's just a very cool thing.
You can't go out and play the Masters with the pros, right? You can't do that, but you can be here with Jan Frodeno and Javier Gomez and the very best guys in the world. And this sport, I call this sport an equal opportunity abuser.
Yeah.
Doesn't care if you're big or small or short and tall. Doesn't matter if you're missing a leg or if you're in a wheelchair. You swim, bike, and run.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the same conversation.
I was at the pool, and Sebastian Kienle was in the lane next to me, and he pulls up he's getting out, and I'm pulling up, and he goes, "I know who you are," and and just having that
Yeah.
Because they know it's the drive and
Absolutely.
determination.
Well, this sport is one of those sports we want people to watch you on television during the NBC show and go, "What's my excuse?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're changing the world.
Yeah,
you're showing people every single day that you're out there, that there is absolutely nothing you can't accomplish. You put your mind to it. What was the toughest part for you? Was there a low point?
No, whenever you get into the mode of change, most people say, like, that are big, they say Monday morning I'm changing. I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat bread. I'm not gonna drink any more Cokes. I'm gonna walk 20 minutes. They start and they try to change everything at one time.
Can't do it.
And what I learned that first year, it's daily changes and not trying to, because I didn't get 489 pounds overnight. It was a 40-year problem, right?
Right.
And so just that daily mindset, and still today, I will, whenever I feel like I'm being Fat Marcus again inside my head, I will pull over to the next parking lot away from and I will walk just to kill that thing inside of me that says, you know what, let's take the easy way today. I'll find myself pushing the elevator button and I'll go, where's the stairs? I'm going to take the stairs. And I think that's the thing that
little things.
Yeah, it's
just
the
you put them all together. It's a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
That is very cool. Marcus, losing 300 pounds, racing Ironman at 2:26. How about a round of applause for Mr. Marcus Cook? Woo!
Thank you.
Fat Marcus is gone. He's gone. He's out of here.
Big Island Serpent. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's Breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man!